Influencers are all over the place these days. They're on your television, they're on your social feeds, they're on the sides of buses. Where are they going to be next? I'm John Davids, and this is Ask Influicity. Advertisers are finding all kinds of new use cases for influencers, taking an influencer and making them a part of your 30-second spot on television, taking an influencer's content and publishing it as a full-page ad in a magazine, taking an influencer's piece of content and making it a billboard out of home. I'm going to talk about how media companies are using influencers in all kinds of unique ways and how we here at Influicity see influencers being used the most effectively. The first thing I'm going to talk about is using influencers in broadcast. This is something that's been happening for a few years now, but it's really started to take shape and be done more effectively, I would say, in the last 12 months or so. Now, what's important here is that the influencer content that runs online organically is actually very similar to what winds up in a 30-second spot running on television. It's being used in the same way you would kind of see it on YouTube from a look and feel standpoint. This is really effective. The numbers that we're seeing in terms of engagement, recall, response rate, drive to purchase, when you take influencer content, put it on broadcast, it can be super, super effective. If you haven't tried it, inquire now and check it out. You don't want to miss it. Another big use case we're seeing is out-of-home advertising, using influencer content as billboards, on bus shelters, on benches, even in Times Square. Think about it, one piece of influencer content that does super, super well on social, take that and blow it up across the country in real world environments. When someone is considering buying something off the shelf and they see a point of sale billboard right there, what better engagement could you have? They're about to make that purchase decision. They've seen that on their phone 24 hours ago, and now they're seeing it in store. The really important thing to keep in mind here is that content that performs well on Instagram usually carries a lot of the same traits as content that performs well in a billboard. Think about it. It's catchy. It catches your attention in 2 seconds. It catches your attention when there's a lot of other visuals happening at the same time. Print is not dead as long as you're doing it right. That glossy magazine still carries a lot of weight, but you've got to think about the imagery that you're placing in there. Glossy shots using major celebrities to promote fragrances and beauty products, that still works, but you'd be amazed how effective it is to show someone that's famous on Instagram as your full page ad or as your back page spread in a glossy magazine. Again, we're seeing this right now. Taking a piece of influencer content that performed really, really well on Facebook, for example, and using it as your magazine copy. So you want to think about glossy Instagram content, but glossy Instagram content does super well in a glossy magazine. Of course, that's where it came from in the first place. Everyone's doing it, and you'd be surprised how effective it is. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure to follow us at Influicity on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, you name it, we're there. And of course, check us out at Influicity.com. We'll see you next time.